They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi ho.
And when you're down here with me, you float down.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Welcome back, guys, to Friday the 14th podcast. I am your host, the bad guy, Nick H.
And I'm your
Dave
other
Side.
host. Oh, sorry. I had to be silent during that part.
The H silent.
And I'm your other host, Mr. Fuentes. You can say my whole name. It's okay.
Your whole name?
Yeah,
Mr. Fuentes.
Exactly. That's my legal name. That's on my birth certificate. First name Mr., last name Fuentes.
Last name Fuentes. First name Mr.
How does that Drake thing go? Last name forever. Or
Last name ever. First name greatest.
Greatest. Greatest. Yeah. Last name ever. First name greatest. Yeah. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Friday the 14th podcast. Here to review another horror movie for y'all. And
we're
today,
back at it again.
Huh?
No, I'm saying we're back at it again with the horror movies. Just because Halloween ended doesn't mean Friday the 14th ended. It's Halloween all year round with us. It's always spooky season.
How was your Halloween? Did you go dress up as Michael Myers and go scare kids?
That would sound like a fun plan, but now that worked and got out. I really had like a limited schedule I could do when I got back home though.
Yeah, for adults, it's like, you celebrate October, the whole month is Halloween, and usually Halloween, you don't actually celebrate Halloween because usually that's where we take the kids out trick-or-treating or something if you're an adult. So October 1st through 30th is our Halloween. We get to do all the horror fun stuff, and then the 31st is actually for the kids on Halloween Day. That's what it seems like as an adult. Besides Halloween parties here and there, but I don't know. It seems like the older I've gotten, the less I hear about them. So maybe it's because I'm older.
I thought that was the older you get, the sexier you get.
I mean, I'm sexier for sure, but
the sexier the parties.
Yeah.
Nah. So today's movie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was like, maybe we need to wear our costumes to my concert this Sunday at Rich's Billiard.
It's a nice little promotion. Whatever, promoting.
What promoting? What are you talking about?
You throw out that.
Just an idea.
Your show.
About my show this Sunday, November 7th at Rich's Billiard. I go on at 8:30. If you want to check it out.
8:30 exact. The movie we're reviewing is The Gallows from 2015.
Gallows. That is what we're reviewing.
That's what we're reviewing. Yeah.
I actually got through like about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of this movie before I realized I've seen this movie before, and then spent the rest of the movie wondering who and where I seen this movie with, because I wouldn't have watched this movie on my own.
Now, Franco, I wanted to be on this episode, but unfortunately he got called in.
He was so emo so wall they had to call him in.
He's so emo so wall. Maybe next time.
Speaking of emo so wall, we're still on the road to 200 on the Emo Sawal Productions YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, I would highly suggest y'all go to the Emo Sawal YouTube channel, which this show gets hosted on, along with Franco's other shows that he does, Wrestling Tacos. Recently they did one called Mats and Tats, and dude, I can't say that right now. But yes, Mats and Tats is on there, and it's recently on there. Got on there. First episode is up, and basically they review wrestlers and like their tattoos and their tattoo history. And it's actually kind of interesting. I watched it, and it was interesting, kind of having the people with the tattoos break down like the history behind them, because sometimes we see people with tattoos, and that's usually always not always the question. I always find it silly when people with tattoos get upset when someone asks them, "What's that tattoo mean?" And it's just like, dude, you're gonna get art on your body. You're gonna get asked questions, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know why you get mad about it. Anyway,
What's that
but I
tattoo
think
mean? It's all a tattoo of to me a picture of me and you together.
it just says, "I hate you, please die." What's that tattoo mean? I hate you, please die.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, they have interesting stuff going on at the Emos Wall Productions YouTube channel, and of course, wrestling content galore. If you're a wrestling fan, that's definitely where you want to be. But they've been branching out to different things like Friday the 14th, like we're doing right now, and Mats and Tats, which is kind of wrestling, but it's more toward tattoos, just about wrestlers with tattoos. So it's more on the tattoo side than the wrestler side. It just happens to be that we're interviewing wrestlers for that. So anyway, Emos Wall Productions, go check it out. That was a long plug. Go to the next part.
The next part. So
While I sing.
you bring up singing or like performing. I feel like the viewers are cheated. It's the Scott Pilgrim special.
They were cheated. The Scott Pilgrim special.
They were expecting a Mr. Fuentes
Oh,
performance.
maybe it has to be on this one. Yo, my name's Mr. Fuentes. Yo, I get really reckless. Yo, check out my necklace that I don't have on, cause it's gone. Oh.
Is that a new song that is unreleased track?
That's actually the special version that I just made up for y'all right now.
Special version right here. Special treat. That's gonna be a one and done, one and only.
That was
performance.
y'all's Christmas treat, or Christmas Halloween treat.
You ain't never
Yeah.
get another performance by Mr. Fuentes. Hey.
Hey. And if you want to watch me perform, you can go to November 7th at Richards Building in Corpus Christi, and I'll be there. Oh.
Any opening acts by the baddie guy in the cage.
Yeah.
So the synapses. This is a long ass synapses. I'll be quite honest. Maybe I can just read through it like fast. In 1993, a freak accident involving a noose kills teenager Charlie Grimmel during a high school production of The Gallows. 20 years later, on the eve of the play's revival, students Reese's Pieces, Reese Misher, Pfeiffer, and just I guess their actual names, Pfeiffer, Ryan, and Cassidy become trapped in the auditorium with no way of calling for help. A night of terror awaits the four friends as they face the wrath of malevolent and vengeful spirits. It seems Charlie will have his curtain call after all.
Ooh, rhyming. That's scary.
Scary.
Yeah,
Terry.
I did notice that the main actors of the movie, first names in the movie are their actual first names in real life. So Reese Micheller is actually Reese, or Micheller is the real actor, and Reese Hauser is the actor or person they're playing. Pfeiffer Brown is the real actor, and Pfeiffer Ross is the actress, and so on and so forth. So their actual names. It kind of, I think, when people make movies, sometimes I like, there's a difference between a parody and an actual horror movie. It was almost like they were trying to make an actual horror movie, but it was like also a parody. Because like they weren't even like, no, we're not going to give you different names. We're just going to use your real names. You're not famous enough to actually get different names, so
get same names like I mean they have like different last names, but I mean their first name basis, it's like workaholics. Those guys use their first name. And the show Workaholics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't watch Workaholics though, so that is
Mm.
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. I would go through
Yeah.
the cast and crew, but it sounds like they already mentioned in that big old synopsis
Snaps.
the four horsemen.
Yeah, buddy.
Um, spoiler-free rating.
I have to know your rating before I say mine.
You want to know my rating?
Yeah.
mm. Damn.
Hold on.
When I
Let me
watched
play.
this in the theaters, I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. Um. Oh man. I think I have my reasons for it, but I mean, it's I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it a four machetes, but
Dang.
there's
Machetes.
reasons.
Okay, we'll go get into those reasons, I guess. Because you gave it 4 machetes, I'm gonna raise my rating by half a machete.
What the?
And it is now no, I'm lying. I'm not gonna give it half a machete. It's a 2.
A 2?
I'm giving this movie a 2.
Mm.
You know what? 2.5. I'll go with 2.5. Only because of what I'm gonna say later about the movie that I think that's really impressive about it, and then everything else I don't think is impressive about it.
Spoiler warning. Go check it out now. I believe I don't know where else it's streaming on, but HBO Max is the place.
The Max.
It's the place where it's currently being shown.
HBO Max.
The H is silent.
The Max is Max.
Who's Max?
The Max is short for maximum.
Maximum.
Yep.
Got any favorite scenes?
Okay, so I'm gonna start this with my favorite thing about this movie. My favorite thing about this movie is that its budget was $100,000, and in the box office, it brought in $43 million. I don't know the complete background of it, but it seems to be one of those movies that was kind of like, I wouldn't say a first time, but it definitely was a very low budget film and went straight to like theaters and became like it's kind of a success. But even looking at like Wikipedia stuff, just like straight out of Wikipedia, it says it was largely disliked by critics and audience, but grossed 43 million worldwide against a $100,000 budget. I guess they did such good promoting in this movie that a lot of people wanted to check it out, and a lot of people were disappointed. Which brings me to like my actual, I guess one of my favorite scenes in the movie, that a scene that I actually did kind of enjoy was or things that I enjoyed. But one of my actual favorite scenes was the girl in the red. Throughout the movie, like you can see scars of redness coming through her neck, like she was getting choked. I thought that was cool, and they were kind of getting worse and worse. It seemed like as time progressed until the inevitable, like, which to me was really cool because it was like a magic trick, because it was like her face like really close up like this, and she was just like, and it like would go out, and she's like, and then it got really close, and she was like, and then it kind of zoomed back out, and then all of a sudden there was a rope around her neck, which was really cool because it wasn't like a cut scene. So like at some point they got a rope around her neck, and I have no idea how. And it being $100,000 budget film, I don't assume that it was something that was like edited post or any kind of magic or what's that word? Post production editing. I don't think it was any of that. So I'm assuming someone was like behind her and like tied a little noose around her neck while the thing was up. But it was just a cool effect. Like it was kind of unexpected to see it there, and that was kind of the only scene to me that was really like almost like a special effect. Because there wasn't really many scenes that were like a special effect in this movie to me. Um, I also kind of like their use of cameras when they were flipping through different cameras. When like one main character lost a camera, they would kind of pull out a phone camera and you get the view from the phone camera and then back to the main camera. Whenever they met back up and things, so I think that was like an interesting use of first person view through video cameras throughout the whole movie, which kind of gave it that Blair Witch Project kind of feel. Well, I say that I've never seen Blair Witch Project, but that's what I imagine it was like. Or Paranormal Activity, like those types of movies that Nick and Franco really like. And that's pretty much all I got.
That's pretty much all you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say also that scene, which is this scene right here in front of the cover of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is that the scene I was talking about?
yeah,
Okay.
where she's like in front of there. I like how like the whole thing goes down to, but like even before she gets the rope or the noose around her neck, you see Charlie's character like slowly creeping up from behind, like stairway, I believe. Like he's just standing behind. And he's slowly like he's moving forward. It kind of reminded me like the scene from like Halloween, how Mike Myers' face just like slowly popping out.
Throughout you mean as her neck was getting more red, you kept seeing Charlie pop up behind her, or
Well,
just
not
during
necessarily that,
that
but
final
then that
scene?
in this scene, yeah, that final scene,
Oh,
you can
okay.
see like he's like standing right there. You have to pay attention. It's one
Yeah,
of
I
those
get.
things like you'll miss in the first viewing, but if you watch it another
Oh,
time, you'll definitely catch that.
no, I definitely didn't catch that. Actually, sounds like pretty cool. I mean, I have to give it to them in this movie that like with such a low, I mean, if we call $100,000 low money, with such a low amount of
Pocket
money
change.
in a movie production, I will admit that this the quality of this movie is pretty good. The effects aren't as much and they don't have that much to really offer as effects. It did seem like the director did a pretty good job of keeping suspense throughout the movie and kind of keep you like wondering if who was gonna possibly die next or something. I mean, I think the directors there's two directors in this movie, and I think they both did a pretty good job of using what they had to its best extent, I guess is the word.
Another, I mean, just like I guess the little flashback of the play that went down, how Charlie just got hung.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty cool, crazy little opener. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even the main cast or crew like that. It's gonna be throughout the movie. It's like just a flashback,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like how it just show it looks all. So all right, I'm just gonna see a person get hanged right away.
Well, I mean, it built the story.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Like give me uh a spoiler right away. Like whenever you find out that it's Reese's father that was supposed to be in that spot, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's pretty shocking. Not really. Like guys, like they try blaming on him, like his father, like it's your fault that Charlie died.
Oh shit! So apparently, I'm reading just the very first trivia on idmb.com. The place where you go for all your movie needs and facts and funness. Um,
Funness.
the opening Charlie Grimmel hanging was played by ear sequence with the rest of the cast and crew. during its initial shot. Director and writer Laughing pitched to Clough and the actor Jesse Cross of not informing the rest of the cast and crew of the sudden prop malfunction they had scripted in, leading everyone to believe that Cross had actually just hung to death. Genuine screams and horror and frantic rushing of the crowd encapsulated exactly what Loft had envisioned from the beginning death sequence and maintained the very first few shots as the film's opening. So all that stuff that happened in the beginning of the film that you were just talking about, the rest that was actual reactions from the cast of that movie that they didn't even know it was going to happen. So that's pretty fun. Mm. Anything else that you like about the movie? I remember you just told I wanted you to give me the reason why it's a 4.
Oh, the 4. Well, initially the real original reason was because of Pfeiffer. Back then, when Franco was a single guy, me and Franco like had a big fat crush on that girl, Fat Pfeiffer. Used to follow her on Instagram, but I think she got rid of her Instagram. I was like, what? What happened to her Instagram?
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's been in any movies since then either.
Just wanted to live a regular life. I don't know.
The actors performed their own stunts and no major CGI was used during the movie.
I guess it's because this is just another found footage type of movie. You know, I think before this you got a bunch of Paranormal Activity movies, and Paranormal Activity movies, they're all right. They're pretty cool. Just that you don't really see anything go than like a physical appearance, like the way they show Charlie throughout this movie. Like you see items flying around everywhere, or whatever. That's cool, whatever. Like, because there's been like the Blair Witch Project movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was another movie I think As Above, So Below. It's the same format, found footage type that around this time. That's pretty cool. Um, I don't know. Just I think visually, I don't know. There's pretty cool. Like there's that one. I like that scene where he he has the phone, but then the phone it just ends up in one of the lockers, and he's like, and it's supposed to be his dad calling, whatever. He picks up the phone, and then it's like it's just him saying back his lines in the play. I don't know, it's like little cool scenes, or when what's that guy's name? The main camera guy in the beginning, the douche guy.
I think his name is Ryan.
Ryan. Whenever he's trying to mess with that nerd, whatever, he has the shirt with the nipple holes cut out and the little tiny shirt. He's like going to his locker. When he's doing that, and that locker scene of the locker above him opens, then closes at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think another cool scene was was the part was the was the ending whenever the hangman slash God, what was the kid that died name?
Kid, but Reese?
No, the other one.
No.
Charlie. It was
Charlie.
I mean, I'm assuming it was Charlie's ghost and Pfeiffer digging a bow, at the thing. But it was a pretty cool, like it was like a flicker, but throughout the entire time you saw the shadow in the background, and then the flickers of like the actual human standing, and then someone not being there. So it was like she was like not holding anyone's hand or not doing any of that, but the shadow was there the whole time, which is really cool. And for a movie with no real effects, that was pretty cool to have. Like, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you make someone's shadow but not have their body there? I know there's green screen stuff and things like that, but I don't know. It's just kind of like really kind of crazy like scene when you think about it in the aspect. Because I think about movies in those kind of aspects. Like, how did they get that effect? You know, type of deal. Especially on movies that I know are low budget, like these movies. Like when they do cool shit like that, it really interests me because it's like, dude, like that was really cool, and you barely paid anything for this movie.
Like how throughout the movie and main Charlie's just like screwing around with them. Like they go inside the yards for him to screw up the whole set of the play, and then just when they go back towards that area, like what the fuck? Like the noose is already back up,
Yeah,
and how that door was the broken door that's always open. It automatically got sewed back up or start working properly again.
I guess it kind of goes into how I would have ended it, but I'm um I'm just curious on like if he would have just left at the end,
The
would he have
alternate ending, a bit.
would he have survived, or
Maybe,
would he still have
but he
died?
probably
You know,
wouldn't be able to live with himself. It's
right?
like he's gonna let
He
the
like
girl he was crushing hard on.
Everyone died. Everyone died. But I survived.
But I mean, he would have known the exact outcome. Like, oh, he didn't know that should be all crazy.
yeah,
I mean, he promised her like, oh, you're not, I'm not, and let anything happen to you.
yeah.
So he's
So
like, I
you
gotta
have
be the
any?
hero of the story.
Did you have any least favorite things about this movie?
Least favorites. Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I guess I'm not saying I don't have a least favorite. A lot of the acting to me seemed a little over dramatic. Sometimes during some of the parts, you know, when he and I kind of get it. I kind of get the over dramaticy of like what happened because you know when he found out that his father was in the original play and that he should have been, I guess, the original kid that got hung. Um, he like ran from this room, left everyone without light, ran all the way to like across to the other side of this
Gotta show
building
you something, man. He's not gonna show you something.
to get this picture, and like left his homeboy behind. And I don't know, like I don't know if it's because I've watched enough horror movies in my life to know like that's not what you do in those kind of situations. Um, you know, sometimes I have to think like a dumb, unsuperstitious person. Um, that is just like, nah, nothing's gonna happen, and then they're just gonna be stuck in the dark, but they'll be okay. You know. Um, I don't know. I always find stuff like that weird. But anyway, you know, the acting after he found out that it was his dad, and it was just like, oh my god, like all the screaming scenes or the overacting scenes. You know, it's just like I don't know. Maybe it was also slightly the video quality, like it looked like it was a movie, like a camera recording, which is exactly what it was. You know, that made it seem like less believable. Um, but yeah, I didn't really like the acting too much. I didn't think it was that great, which is ironic because they were practicing for a play. So, and they weren't even good at that. So,
His whole facial expressions are priceless though.
his old,
His facial expressions, his eyes all white and like all popping out every single time.
yeah, I think but like as far as like things in the movie, like I said, like I'm impressed by a lot of the movie. I can respect the movie that somebody, you know, put in a good amount of, well, I wouldn't say good amount of money, but to a normal person, I mean, um, I'm reading right here. Most of the film's budget came from people who never invested in a film before and were local friends of the filmmakers in Central California. So basically, it was just a bunch of friends that believed in their other friends and was like, you know, hey, can I borrow $10,000? Hey, can I borrow a 500, you know, $5,000 to try to do this movie? You know, and they basically got a group of their friends to loan them some money, and they made this movie with what they had. So I respect that a lot. That's somebody, going for their goals and going for their dreams. And for what this movie was, it was great, but it's still like it's I don't want to compare it to Thanksgiving, but it's the same deal with Thanksgiving. They obviously knew it was a very low budget movie. I don't even know. Let's see. I'm gonna find out what the budget for Thanksgiving is right now. Thanksgiving. I can't believe there's a film series. Thanksgiving. A $3,500 budget is how much Thanksgiving was. $3,500. Now, for $3,500, they did a great job. But I respect stuff like that. I respect people going out for their dreams and things. But if we're being realistic about a movie that I enjoy it, like not really. Kind of seemed a little lame. It was definitely not a really high quality film. The story was an okay story, but it wasn't a great story either. Even the twist at the end was kind of weird. Not weird, but like I understood it, but then it never really explained much. Like, what did they do? Cultivate the ghost for like 18 years, and the mom was like gonna raise this daughter, and then have their revenge later, and then they were gonna raise the ghost of the dead kid to Charlie to exact revenge on the high school. Like, never really gets explained very much. It's just like it could have been a cool story, but they refused to make it a cool story. They didn't explain anything more than kids being trapped inside a high school and getting killed off. Yeah, it just wasn't a movie that I would just watch, repeatedly or anything. I didn't find it that entertaining. But like I said, I respect it. I just probably never watch it again on my own.
There's actually a part 2.
I saw, and for the sake of wanting to complete trilogies, I want to watch part 2. Or not trilogies, but seeing what if they got any better on the next one, or if it got worse somehow. Yeah, I don't really even know what this movie's really about. Did you watch part 2?
Yeah, I've seen part 2.
I mean, without giving it like a rating, what do you think? That's alright. Was it? Let's put it this way: was it as good as the first one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I will give a little spoiler. Pfeiffer makes an appearance. That's all I'm gonna give you though.
That's why you and Franco watched it, huh?
For a second time. The movies.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as I don't know, movie in general, like it's better than anything I would have came up with $100,000. The effects aren't terrible, just like I said, wasn't really digging it. You're gonna give a movie a 4 based on a hot girl.
4 and pretty cool effects.
Okay, all right. All right.
Yeah, it's how I roll.
That's how I roll.
I think it's more of the experience with really.
I'll give you that. I feel like if you watched it in theaters with like a surround sound system, I'm sure like the audio and everything kind of gives it a cooler effect because, things like that I think are cool just because, like if someone's in a first person view in a movie and you're getting attacked or someone's getting like ruffled into the camera, like it's almost like they're coming to you, so you feel more involved into the movie. So I always kind of find effects like that pretty cool. Like that, I think that was one of the major, not selling points, but what made the ending for a lot of people from Paranormal Activity really cool was that the chick kind of like did the jump scare to the screen like really fast, and it kind of made everyone kind of freak out because for the whole entire movie they were behind the safety of the camera and nothing really attacked the camera for the most part until the very end of the movie, and you're like, oh, whoa, whoa, okay, shit, it's not real. Like, you feel unsafe for a second when something attacks the camera when you're involved in a movie like this that's first person view. So it really does add another aspect of horror or nerves or whatever to the movie when you watch a movie like that. So I can understand that in a sense. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about this movie. I've kind of rambled on for like 15 minutes about how I thought it was okay and I respect them, but I don't like it.
Slogans. Not really
Slogan.
sure what the slogan was for this movie.
Every school has its spirit.
Oh. Sounds like a cheerleading movie.
Oh, sorry. Hold on one second.
Every school.
Every school has its spirit.
Slogans. The gallows.
The gallows where me and my friends hang.
But only, yeah.
The gallows. Let's recreate a play where someone died in it 20 years later.
The gallows. The should have stayed in football. The gallows. You like Pfeiffer?
Hell yeah.
Of course.
The gallows. Charlie. Don't say his name. Don't say his name. The gallows.
The gallows. 20 years later, and still salty.
The gallows. This guy holds a grudge, man. Should have been called The Grudge. The gallows should have been that other guy.
Should have been his name. Reese's father.
Reese's father, exactly. Damn you, Reese.
Witherspoon.
All right, how I would have ended it. All right, let's be realistic, right? He saw his friends hanging and he knew supernatural shit was happening, right? Right? Okay, so once he got out those doors, he should have kept running. But what would have been a cool scene is if he started running like out the front doors. Now that I'm thinking about it, why did he still have the camera like pointing at anything? I guess he was still using the flashlight off the camera. Did you notice that they magically got a battery pack like out of nowhere when the camera battery got low? He was like, I just switched out the battery pack. Like, where? From what?
From where?
Where did you get that? Was it attached to the camera? Was there? Because I have a camera and it doesn't have a secret battery replacement battery pack underneath it. Like you have to bring that in your camera backpack or something. Like you just don't get a little slot for you to put a spare battery for when
It's
it
like
runs.
it's like a video game reload.
Yeah, I mean, like exactly. Like it just happened. Like it kind of like
Fully charged.
yeah, exactly. Like, fully charged again. We can use the light. Um, but yeah, it would have been cool if he like kind of ran out and started running, and then he like tripped and like
They tripped.
the camera fell out of his hand and like landed in position to look back at him. And as he was looking at the camera, like all of a sudden, like a rope would appear around his neck and just drag him across the field and back into the school, and the doors just shut, and the camera's just chilling there on the lawn, and that's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah, everyone died. Everyone died.
I think Charlie secretly, never secretly, but I think he knew that Reese would be tempted to going back. Like otherwise, he wouldn't have left the doors open on purpose. He's like, I'm gonna leave the doors open.
Right?
See what you do. See what you do. Gonna be a good guy? You gonna be a bad guy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that,
think-
he should have ran away, and
I
then
feel like
he still would
it
have
would
got
just
killed.
been too easy.
Right?
Uh,
I mean, the more I think about it, I think I'm answering my own question. Like maybe they needed to have the play being redone to invoke the spirit of Charlie, so they can use Charlie's spirit to exact revenge on the school, even though it was just an accident and they're being petty bitches.
Tom Petty.
Petty Guerrero, man.
Damn.
What?
No, I was just thinking about what possible ending. Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty crazy ending, kind of. Of course, how they're reacting to the whole play thing, and it's funny how he willingly like, all right, I'm just gonna have the noose around my neck. I'm gonna put it underneath there, and this guy's just like, oh, so why are you so being character? He's like calling me, was it
I forgot his
uh
name.
August? I think
Yeah,
that was his name.
August. It was August, yeah.
Oh, August.
Why are you calling
It's
me
like,
August? Get out of
stop
here!
it! He's all stop it.
August?
Or
August!
how they go to their house, Pfeiffer's house,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just watching it play. Like, why are they watching that, rewatching it? It's like, so we love to see Charlotte get hung, or her father.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, that was a strange. And another thing that was strange about that scene was that it like an officer was like looking at them, but like he kept taking his like light off them, and first of all, why are they even there? You know
He's
what I
just looking
mean?
to the side and see all this crazy shit, like
Like
decorate.
why are they even there at all? Like what made Pfeiffer a suspect? You know what I mean? He
I was thinking like, how they connect the dots that real quick? That like, oh, unless there was some type of footage, but even then, you mean what? You're gonna see everyone get killed by some spirit if they on
yeah,
some
like I
cameras.
mean, Pfeiffer didn't do anything. Realistically, I mean, she could have easily got away with all that shit too. All she had to do was play dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The ending just kind of really didn't make sense.
They set himself up.
Yeah, like I don't know.
But even then, I mean, they weren't really caught because the place ended up dying anyway.
I guess this movie got picked up by Blumhouse,
Blumhouse.
which is the producers of Paranormal Activity and Insidious. So I guess it
And
kind
The
of makes
Purge and Halloween and what the hell? All their properties.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to watch Insidious this weekend. Anyway, um, yeah. I mean, how would you have ended it? Oh my gosh, Pfeiffer got old.
Check out. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to think of one off the spot. Um, it sounds like a dumb idea, but I think it would have been weird but crazy if like the ending's really just it's like it's a reenactment again, but of course instead of it being Charlie, it's actually Reese in the actual footage. Like like and then of course whatever whoever's viewing the tape could be his own father.
I gotcha. Like all the old actors are all around, and he's
Yeah,
going up,
everyone's like the same actors in it. And it's just like
kind of
Reese is in
like
that spot.
the ghost or something of the old actors.
And her dad just dies from Charlie.
Right? It's Charlie's dad instead of Charlie. Like whenever he goes back inside, like he goes in the gallows. There's Charlie's dad underneath the noose instead. Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Cool, cool. So, you really still gonna give this movie a 4?
Based on Pfeiffer alone, yes.
Okay, I get you, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I give this movie a lot of respect, but it still gets a 2 from in my book.
I was trying to think what I gave productivity. I don't remember what I gave productivity.
Did I say 2.5? I said 2.5 earlier, right?
You said
Then I bump it
two
up.
and a half. That was your bump up, 2.5.
Yeah, I give it 2.5. I think I gave Thanksgiving 2, so I can give this 2.5.
I think it was just a difference from the usual, just found footage that I've seen previously before. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's like just different moments. It had its moments. It had Pfeiffer.
It did have Pfeiffer.
I mean, I'm curious to know what Franco's views are.
Me too. But he's being aimless at wall,
He's like, I give it a 1. What the fuck?
right? This is the one where he gives it a 5 star.
5 star.
And you're like, what the hell, man? You give everything like a 1 star, basically.
Mm. But that was the review of the Gallows.
That was the review of the Gallows. Oh, well, slap my bum and call me a monkey.
Slap your bum, call you a monkey.
Yeah, buddy. Just don't do it in front of everyone. I forgot to pick a movie, so I'm going to pick a movie right now.
So you're doing it on the spot right now.
Yes, exactly. Give us interesting information about the bad guy while I'm doing this.
What information?
I don't know. Give him something.
Give him something. And it's gonna
You,
give it to you?
you know what? We've never done the Purge, huh?
No, we've never done the Purge.
We need to do the Purge. The first
Which
Purge.
one? Oh, the first one.
The Purge. I
I've only
really
seen the last 2.
really.
Yeah, I skipped all the ones. Like, all right.
I don't know if I
Most
watched. Was the last one is Election Day, right?
the newest one that came out this year was the Forever Purge.
I haven't seen that one.
One
I've only.
before that one is, I think Election Day is part 3.
Yeah, I think so too.
think
Because I
it's
think it's
called Purge.
Purge, and then Purge
So-
like basically the next year, and then Purge Election Day, which I thought that was a pretty cool movie. So yeah, Purge. I would totally go with the Purge.
Purge.
The Purge. The projection.
Siren.
The Purge. The Purge. The Purge. Yeah, hopefully
Alright.
by the next thing I'll have my studio set up with my new webcam and computer and everything, and I'll be able to actually stream the trailers and stuff live during the stuff. So that would be pretty cool. Like we were trying to do beforehand. But we'll hope for progress, man. Hope for progress.
Thought you were telling me that you're like a fancy setup for being a cam girl.
I mean, yeah, I got the ring light.
The ring light. Yeah, cam girl.
I'm a cam girl now, man.
There's a movie on Netflix called Cam.
Is it
I don't know
about
if you
cam
heard.
girls? Is it about me?
Yeah, it's a horror movie about cam girl.
It's a horror movie about cam
Yeah.
girls?
It's supposed to be horror, whatever.
For sure. Alrighty, you want to start us off with the sign off?
The sign off. Thanks for viewing, listening on Friday.
We forgot about our homies.
Huh?
We forgot about our homies.
Well, let me rewind and give you the floor.
So I forgot to mention earlier that you want to give a special shout out to Cinema Movie Podcast. Cinema Movie Podcast, if you haven't heard of them, they do a movie review podcast like us, except they do all genres of movies.
Music.
I think I do that every time. They do all genres of movies, not just horror. Recently, they keep pretty recent. They drop Monday. They drop a new episode every Monday, and usually it's a very current movie. This week is Dune, that just came out on HBO Max. If you want to check that out, and then you can check out their review. Interesting guys, really interesting to listen to their points of views. Definitely cinephiles. So if you're a cinephile, you may. They don't really always agree on a lot of things, so it's always fun to kind of you always kind of get someone who has their own point of view of this to the movie than the other. So it's pretty fun in that dynamic. They also do a Thursday podcast as well that drops on Thursdays. Usually that one usually consists with like either film companies or series of movies. Recently they just got done with the Friday the 13th series, and they kind of use this podcast as like the extra podcast. They try to keep current with what I said before with series and stuff. But this week they did the top 5+5 horror movies. So their favorite horror movies at the moment, I'm assuming. So yeah, I mean, go check them out. Cinema Movie Podcast. You can find them on Facebook at Cinema Movie Podcast, YouTube at Cinema Movie Podcast, and pretty much anything that has streaming, just like you're watching us right now or listening to us, you could find them on Cinema Movie Podcast. And yeah, thank you guys for supporting us here on Friday the 14th podcast. And man, I said podcast like 10 times in the last like minute in this podcast. Anyway, so thank you guys, and go check them out. And back to you, Mr. Nick, with the silent H.
Silent H, silent. I thought I'll say my thank yous. Yeah, back to we're on the road to 200. So, like Fuentes mentioned early on at the beginning of the podcast, they have shows like Mats and Tats, Rats and Tacos, we used to cover like mainstream stuff. Now I believe we've grown to the Rats Tacos it's a brand for the indies of Texas. So Texas independent wrestling. I believe we
Hmm.
become that. That's our main focus. I don't know. I was trying to word it into some type of because the mainstream that's actually will be done by our sister, well, not really sister. I don't know. I guess podcast. Rob is underneath the brand. They're going to be on their fourth episode coming pretty soon. Couple of cool guys. Those guys are into wrestling. But you go to them. You want
Why
some
wouldn't you be?
mainstream. You want the higher brands or Dress Tacos, were the guys for the independent guys, the guys that are coming up.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah, check that stuff out. That's all on Emo Soul Productions.
Hell
Or
yeah. That Emo to Wall one for all. Um, Again, if you didn't hear starting off on this podcast, I have a concert in Corpus Christi, Texas at Rich's Billiard. I have some tickets still for sale, and even if I sell out, I could still hook you up with someone that can get you a ticket. Um, it's going to be Ouija Mac. If you don't know Ouija Mac, he's one of basically the surviving members left on Psychopathic Records, which is Insane Clown Posse. So if you listen or like Ouija Mac, he's going to be at Rich's Billiard November 7th, along with me, Robzilla, Forilla. Yes, it's Robzilla and Forilla. Those are two different people. Antidote. Actually, a guy that I saw was on there that I haven't seen this guy. Oh, Swisher Sweet Coffin. Um, but a guy that's supposed to be on there that I'm excited to actually see because I haven't talked to him in a while is a guy named Boone, and I'm pretty excited to see what his stage show is going to be. There's also Lunatics. They were there with the last tour. If you went to Rich's Billiard, but anyway, November 7th, I go on around 8:30, so be there a little before if you want to catch me live. I have tickets for sale, and get at me at Mr. Fuentes or Mr. Fuentes 361, which is my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter. Again, that's Mr. Fuentes 361. And I also do music, so if you're never listening to me and you're listening to me for the first time here, saying what that guy raps, you can go to Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you stream music, possibly even this podcast, and find my music at Mr. Fuentes, Mr. Fuent to the S. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting us on this podcast, guys. It's always fun talking shit. I mean, loving, talking about movies all the time. It's what me and Nick really enjoy to do, and I'm glad you'll give us a platform to do that on. So thank you again, guys, and that's it for me, Mr. Fuentes. Yeah.
yeah, been a bag on the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, just another shout out.
Yeah.
Check out JF Elite V. I don't know.
Jeff Elite V.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just throw it out there. They don't need to shout out, but I'm gonna give them a shout out. Remember,
Hell
folks,
yeah.
always better than a bad guy.
Hell
Thanks for
yeah.
watching and hearing.
Peace. Yo.